gonna be a straight quiz to fight. Telling me that never can wait. Yeah, I'm gonna get it right this time. Life is what we find the second time around. Hey everybody, Jesus Christ, the Western Channel Sonichu Prime here once again. We are continuing our reading of the events of Chaos Crystal Control. I got a clipboard right here in front of me to help hold things in place in front of me. But without further ado, let's resume with Act 1 of this multifaceted story. Let me just go through this here. I start this page with the usual how I've been feeling and everything, and just other thoughts. And then I have written a list of all the S rank words. Okay, yeah, let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll let y'all know about this as well. Just as a bonus little tidbit about the city of Quickville. So there's a country club in the city of Quickville. It's south of Branchland Lane, which that's the street that Angelica's church is on, as well as a Quickville Basilicom, along with a few other buildings. And it's neighboring the big park of Quickville, pretty much the south edge of the park. Anyway, so Quickville Country Club, south of Branchland Lane, past the Pepsi Pavilion called the royalty-free Ranched La Blanc Country Club, named after its founder, Sir Ranched La Blanc, a generous and kind-hearted billionaire who works in stocks, trades, and various businesses. It opened in April 1998, not far from the prosperous Greenland subdivision of the neighboring city from Quickville. That's just a little bonus tidbit. Anyway, so here we go. Chaos Crystal Control Act 1. Minor detail. Christian and Crystalina in the Mushroom Kingdom. Alright. So, resuming from yesterday during Chris and Crystalina's birthday party on Friday, February 24, 2006, as Teo had just finished reading my notes from Saturday, December 3rd, 2022, Crystalina had a deja vu moment, then tells Chris at the same time as Magic-chan telling Chris, "Get ready for adventure tomorrow, Chris." Magic-chan continues, "Quite right. You both shall be hunting intuitively for most of the other Chaos Crystal Balls over the next few days. I shall alert Allison to hold the city as mayor in your stead." Magic-chan telepathically tells Allison Amber that Chris will be on travel and errands over the following week, and for her to take the mayor mantle in the meantime. Sonic stowed the orange Chaos Crystal Ball in his magic satchel. Everyone continued to join the rest of the party. Now, the following morning, February 25th, 2006, Saturday, about 8:30 a.m., Chris and Crystalina packed a couple of backpacks with their essentials, including their phones and charging cables for the phones. They told Bob and Barbara of their outing and expedition. This would be a test for both Chris and Crystalina on their intuition, adaptability, and other practice skills. And just to let you all know, a reminder in case you didn't get, Crystalina is also known as Crystal Weston Chandler Rosechew. You know, she's my and Chris's alternate dimension sister from the alternate dimension where that Chris Chad had a sister. A twin sister, essentially. Born on the same day. Anyway. Yeah, this would be a test. This would be a test for both Chris and Crystalina on their intuition, adaptability, and other practice skills. After bidding farewell to Bob and Barbara, Chris and Crystalina transformed into their Sonichu and Rosechew forms, and then Chris and Crystalina rechecked their premonitions. I see visions of the Mushroom Kingdom for the first crystal ball. Chris tells Crystalina. I see it as well, but also some lava. Ugh. At least her shoes are lava-proof. Unfortunately, neither Chris or Crystalina had personally ventured outside of Virginia prior to Saturday, February 25th, 2006. So they brought their World Atlas for 2006 to help. Plus, Visions found alternate shortcuts in some. Plus, Visions found alternative shortcuts to some of their destinations. A warp pipe direct to the Mushroom Kingdom was not far from Quickville. However, this one warp pipe was in the area of Team Rocket's Virginia base. The two of them opted to teleport to the base's outskirts. Meanwhile, Natesurk was listening to some heavy metal tracks on his iPod in his room. The grunts were physically training, taking a break in the bank room, or working in collab with the leaders on their next outings. Scientists were looking for results in their experiments. The watchmen and guards were surveying the grounds and monitoring through the camera feeds. Blake was actually outside on the training field sparring with Liquid Shoe. The two of them were off and on in the speed zone, which essentially, if you're not aware, like the Flash, actually going into the speed zone, which is actually just faster than time itself. It's like a place the really fast ones can get some training and physical work done, or just whatever. Liquid Shoe spied Chris and Crystalina, as did Blake after Liquid Shoe pointed them out, as Chris and Crystalina deliberated, then spin jumped into the warp pipe, one before the other. Liquid Shoe said to Blake, "This could be our break, Red Brow. I'm going after them." "Seriously, Woodrock?" Blake retorted. "You know they will bust you up hard." "Fine. You stay until the others Quickville's mayor of Prestige is out of town. I'm going." Blake considered it within down seconds as Liquid Shoe speed jumped into the warp pipe. "Damn it. Teamwork works better than solo," Blake thought to the psychic Pokemon at the base. "Psychics, Woodrock went into a pipe after Chris chat. I'm going after him. Alert Natesurk." Then Blake jumped into the warp pipe after finishing his thought to the Alakazams. Mushroom Kingdom Zone. As prophesized, the warp pipe directly exited to the outskirts of the Toadstool Village, right by Princess Peach's castle. Chris and Crystalina both exited the pipe and started towards the village. Just checking this. Oh. "Well, at least that pipeline did not have any sewage, but the tepid rainwater and crumpled leaves is another story," she said as she checked her fur and quills. They both shake off the wet grime and trash completely. "Well, at least we're here in Southeast Canada." "Yes, that's right. The Mushroom Kingdom is in Canada. Southeast Canada. Warp pipe goes directly from New York to Canada. The Southeast. That's where the Mushroom Kingdom has been the entire time." Anyway, let me find my place again. Oh, yeah. Anyway, well, at least we're here in Southeast Canada. "Welcome to Super Chris Chad, Sibs," Chris says. Crystalina moans with a smirk. Yeah, he was saying to her, like, "Welcome to Super Chris Chad, the video game." That's a dope joke. Yeah, anyway. "An NES classic," he adds. "More like SNES," Crystalina adds as they start to the village of houses and wandering toadstools that observe the Sonichu and Roshu as they wander, rest, and work. Chris's first clear idea is to consult with Peach herself. A green-spotted toadstool walks by them. Chris says, "Excuse me, kind toad." The toadstool stops and looks at Chris and Chris. "Yes?" "Could you direct us to Peach's castle, please?" "I didn't think you were from around here. Well, you go down this road, take a left at the fork, then take the first right road. The Crystal Pass will be to the left and a sign up directs you there. Can't miss it." "Thank you so much," Chris says. Then Chris and Crystalina speed walk the path. Meanwhile, Liquid Shoe exits the warp pipe, wipes off his rocky fur as he looks around. Then Blake exits the pipe right behind Liquid Shoe. "Gah, Woodrock, you seriously need to curb your impulses," Blake says, and spin dashes in place for a few seconds and stands back up. "Despite my impulses, Blake." Despite my impulses. Wait a minute. Oh, there's a quote around the impulse. "Despite my impulses, Blake, Chris and his sister had led us to the iconic Mushroom Kingdom, and I have a hunch from my psychic power they're going to see the princess. Come on, we can beat them there. So here's a little backstory for this little psychic ability for Liquid Chris Sonichu. So originally, he was just simply rock electric type, purely that. But then, as I written in the GL pages before this lovely bunch of chronicling, apparently, so Team Rocket had used Ditto, D, and A, so that they can change the elemental typings of Pokemon or give them an additional typing, which is just very mild, but not so much as to affect their genetics. So Liquid Shield took a bit of a psychic potion in this part. It's permanent, but it's not as powerful as an actual psychic type Pokemon. Rather it be a single type or a dual type with another element. So essentially he's tri-type, but it's like if he uses psychic attacks, it's more like 1.1 or 1.25 effectiveness because he's not naturally a psychic type. Anyway, let me find my place again. The two of them run through a forest shortcut to the castle. Mushrooms, Blake starts. I'll eat them on pizza, but not here or there. A little bit of green eggs and ham reference. I would not eat them here or there, but I do not like them, Semi-Yam. Blake and Liquid Shoe make it to the cobblestone walls at the edge of the castle's ground. They covertly slip in and hide behind a tree not far from the front door. Liquid Shoe observes and waits as he also checks his visions with the milliseconds. Why, I dare ask, did we rush to this castle? Blake asks. Liquid Shoe telepathically tells him, Christian and Crystalina came here for something. My visions show a red crystal ball amidst lava. I need to confirm whether or not that is their target. Hold up, Liquid Shoe thinks to Blake as Christian, Sonichu, and Crystalina Rochu enter the castle grounds. Chris and Crystalina's minds are practiced and defended from those they have not opened their minds for in telepathy, so Liquid Shoe cannot read their minds. However, they both sense Liquid Shoe and Blake where they are. Not a problem right now, Chris and Crystalina think to each other as they approach the front door. Yeah, there's a little bit of premonitionary details because it's not their problem right now. It's going to be a problem later, but it needs to happen anyway for the events to either come out in the end to actually happen. So there you go. Anyway, not our. Oh, right, here we go. As they approach the front door, a camera fishing Lakitu is recording. Mario opens the front door and exits, lugging a couple of boxes to be picked up by FedEx in his arms. The top box slips forward and off as he closes the door behind him. Chris quickly catches the box in his hands before it hits the ground. A plumber can never be too careful with his load, Chris says. Mario looks to see a blue hedgehog, momentarily thinking to himself, Hey, paisano! How you doing, Mr. Hedgehog? Mario says, Chris looks into the Lakitu's camera towards you all. Yeah. He says, you know, if that was not an old gag line, some people might be offended. Chris turns back to Mario. No, I'm not Sonic Super Mario. I'm Christian Sonichu, and this is Crystalina Rochu. Hi, Mario, she says to him. Oh, Mario sets the box down beside him. Chris places his box on top of the other box. We don't have many Sonichus around here, Mario says as he looks at the both over. How may I help you both? Well, we're here on search for a Chaos Crystal Ball, and we believe it is in the area here, and we wanted to consult with you and Peach. Liquid Shoe may not have been able to mind work Chris, but he did through the Lakitu by connecting with its mind and listening to the verbal exchange. I knew it. I knew it, Liquid Shoe said, hush it to Blake. Mario considers for a moment, then he sees the intentions of Chris and Christina were good. So he says to him, Okie dokie, come on inside and I'll inform the princess. Mario opens the door as Princess Peach approaches the door. Oh, Peach, I was about to. See, Mario starts as Peach looks to Chris and Christina, then to the boxes, then to Mario. Mario, I thought I told you to take these to the curb for pickup. Oh, sorry, Peach, but Mario spoke. Chris picked up the pair of boxes, dashed the cobblestone wall, placed the boxes by the curb, then dashed back before Mario could finish his sentence. I ran into this Sonichu and Rosechu who wish to speak with you. So in other words, Chris did that as he was saying, oh, sorry, Peach, but I ran into this Sonichu and Rosechu who wish to speak with you. Peach noticed Chris's instant fast work. She giggled. Mario gawked at the empty space where the boxes were. Then Peach said to Mario as she pointed out the boxes were now at the curb, apparently some can get the job done well and fast. Chris chuckles at Kristalina. Then Chris introduces themselves to Peach and asks to speak with her and Mario for help locating the Chaos Crystal Ball. The four of them enter the castle. Kristalina knowingly telekinetically restrains the camera wielding Lakitu from following and entering the castle. Liquidu stops his mind link with the Lakitu and scans the castle internally for others to mind link and listen with, as well as monitor the group's path. The group of four entered the meeting hall where Luigi, Toadette, and Toad were playing Go Fish. Yo-ho! I win again! Toad shouts as he discards the last pair of cards from his hand. Luigi groans and Toadette giggles. Aww. Luigi says to Toadette, how come I can't win a game with you? I know you both don't cheat. The Toadstools laugh. Sorry, Luigi. Maybe Mario will give you better lessons. Peach introduces Chris and Christina to Luigi and the two Toadstools as a blue bird perches on the landing by the window. Liquidu mind links with the bird to keep it in place and to listen. So anyway, Kristalina and I have only so much to go on to locate the crystal ball, Chris continues. And I have faith y'all can help us out, since y'all know the land personally. I'm certain we can think of something. Toad, my captain? Peach eyes Toad. Yes, your highness. Toad rushes to collect his maps and photo albums as Toad opens his maps of the east half of Canada with the Mushroom Kingdom layout. A sheet of paper with writing on one side, blank side up, falls onto the long table right by Chris. Toad gets his captain face on. So, you're looking for the crystal ball, huh? The rocky place with lava in it, huh? So, you're looking for this crystal ball in a rocky place with lava in it. Well, in my expeditions, I've been everywhere, taking photos and avoiding dangerous but mixed puzzling situations. Rocky lava cavern is broad. There's a lot of these local places hold deep characteristics. Bowser's place is too obvious and dangerous. Let's see. Captain Toad looks his photos over, as does Kristen and Chris with his hand on the blank-sided paper. Don't let the cavern is almost solidified by now, Mario states. Chris meditates on the vision in his head. An image suddenly starts appearing on the blank side of the sheet of paper. As everyone continues naming hotspots, Chris glances down and sees a familiar image under his hand. He picks up the sheet and looks at it. Oh my Christ, Chad. Everyone goes silent as Chris places the image on the table. Chris looks at it. Chris, that's the very image of our vision. I dare ask how? I had my hand on the sheet and focused on the vision. Photography! Christian, you beautiful demigod! Kristalina hugs him. Luigi recognizes the image. I know what that is! Luigi points to a spot on the mid-north of the map. Toad shrieks and pulls out the map of the specific Krakatoa location, as Luigi puts it. Outside, Liquidu hears the place's name. Blake does a Google search for it and locates it. Liquidu disconnects from the bird and meditatively focuses on the location and for any shortcuts. He locates such a warp pipe that is 50 miles west of their location. Blake pulls up a warp pipe location on Google Maps, and the pipe is located. The two of them make their way to the warp pipe. Meanwhile, Peach offers a warp whistle to Chris and Kristalina. Mario volunteers to go with them. Chris and Kristalina thank everyone. Chris, Kristalina, and Mario gather together as Chris focuses on the location and name of the area, and the three of them are transported to the entrance of the icy volcanic location in an instant. There it was, a cave entrance into a lava-filled dormant volcano. Excuse me a second. There. Love. There it was, a cave entrance into a lava-filled dormant volcano, surrounded by snow and ice. The three of them run in and start their trek and search for the Chaos Crystal Ball. 2 miles south of the volcano, Liquid Shoe and Blake exit a warp pipe there. I'll hand it to you, world. I will hand it to you, Root Rock. Your precognitive powers are improving. Thank you, Blake. But we must hurry if we are to beat them to the Chaos Crystal Ball. The entrance is 2 miles north. You go ahead, Blake. I'm going to take the Dark Void route. If we don't meet inside, I'll meet you back here. Right. I'll focus on the Chaos energy. See ya later. Blake dashes north. Liquid Shoe opens and enters a Dark Void. Oh, no, wait. I'm confused. Maybe it was Liquid Shoe. He picked up Dark. He got the Dark typing for his additional. Oh, wait, that's right. He wanted power against the Psychic Squadron. So that was my mistake earlier. Liquid Shoe is not Rock Electric Psychic. He's Rock Electric Dark. Dark. So he's got like Dark Ray allies. So he he knows Dark Void. Anyway, Krakatoa Zone, Act 1. Chris, Kristalina, and Mario team dash through the volcano, running along the walls through loop-de-loops, and traipsing over rock stones and across lava pools, levitating Mario across those, downing various enemies and creatures along the way. Long and treacherous, up as quick as he can. I don't know how you're going to run just so fast and not tired out like Sonic can, Mario shouts. Practice! Chris and Kristalina shout in response together, simultaneously. Too bad that fire flower doesn't protect you from lava, Chris says aloud as they move onward. That's Peach. A sheet of paper. Skipping the introductory line on this page. Meanwhile, as Chris, Kristalina, and Mario ventured through the volcano and dodging lava and flames on their fur and skin, with Blake catching up and finding some shortcuts along the way, Liquid Shoe was navigating the Dark Void realm with his levels of certainty and intuition. Liquid Shoe could not sense the Chaos Crystal Ball from within the Dark Void, and navigating it is This is a sentence. And navigating it is coordinate difficult, like the zombie pigman realm of Minecraft dimension. And clearly time was a factor regardless of the speed zone. Chris, Kristalina, and Mario enter a narrow hallway, determining where to go, left or right. The spark of light from incoming lava from the left made their choice easier as they dashed right, with Mario catching up and hanging on for his life. As the group homing attacked from platform to platform, following ring trails to one-up mushrooms with light-speed dash, platform to platform, then with a looming lava flow catching up as Mario in their hands, the three of them entered the speed zone to regain distance as they approached the hallway's exit. They made it out as the lava flowed out of the wall of the next cavern. Chris and Kristalina with Mario landed on a rock on the lava floor and spinned the goal sign, revealing Mario's smiling portrait. End of Act 1. Rank S. Sonichu. Meanwhile, Blake had to locate an alternate route through the cave. He had to locate an alternate route through a cave to the right from the lava's veins entrance. That route went upward towards a separate exit into the same cavern, but a mile above the exit Chris, Kristalina, and Mario took. The route Blake took was a mile above the exit that the three of them took. It took longer to traverse than the vein. Another goal sign spun, revealing Blake's portrait. Whoa, what was that? Mario asked in a short, dizzy spell. That was the speed zone, Mario, Chris responded. Mainly, it's only accessible by those who can run beyond Mach speed to break through into the zone where most everything is paused in motion. That aside, Kristalina asked, I sense the Chaos Crystal Ball not much farther from here. I sense it as well, Chris adds, and sees a light path spiraling upward into a cave 2 miles above them. Up and in there! Chris points out. As the lava floor rises and they see more platforms along the wall, they start upward with a nearby spring on the rock they were on. Krakatoa Zone, Act 2. The three of them land on a ledge on the wall. There were not many ring trails, and the ledges going up were too far to jump. Fortunately, there were floating platforms that went in various directions when stood upon. They had to act fast and practice patience. Lava dinos, like from Super Mario World, swam in the hot lavas and would loom up for a chance to drag the heroes down. And between Mario's fire flower power and Chris and Crystalina's thunderbolts and homing attacks, they fell a number of enemies as they made their climb from platform to platform and ledge to ledge to keep away from the rising lava. Blake exited his route and had to wing his own route of traversing as the lava rose. Shortly after the trio entered the higher cave, Blake makes it and enters after them. The lava rising had stopped short of that cave by some feet down. Don't fall on me, don't fall on me, don't fall on me. Okay. After entering the cave, the trio traversed it fast, all the while Chris and Crystalina sensed the chaos crystal ball ahead and through a few more caves until finally entering another lava-filled cavern, a rotunda type of a room. And nestled upon a single rock slab in the center was the red chaos crystal ball, with no rock paths to get to it. The edge of the cavern was lined with a wide rock floor. There were the lava swimming dinos in the lava as well. Mario sees the crystal ball in the center and points it out. Oh, yes, we have a crystal ball! Chris and Crystalina see it as well. Chris volunteers to levitate and fly to the island to retrieve it. As Chris nears it, though, a dark void opens under the ball and it falls into the void. Chris stops short of the void as Liquid Chew levitates himself out of the void, holding the chaos sphere. I got your precious treasure, Chris Chad. Then Liquid Chew concentrates into adapting his rock-type fur and increased special defense as he dives into the lava with the chaos crystal ball and flies back out, attempting to body slam Chris. Chris dodges and teleports back to his group. Liquid Chew took on fire-type properties after absorbing the lava into his body, doubling his physical size to 7 feet tall. Adaptability and conversion? Crystalina starts. What do you think you are, Liquid? A Porygon Z or something? I figured this out amidst my meditations and self-upgrades, my darling Crystalina. Oh! Liquid Chew felt a sting after Mario flung a Koopa shell at him. Let's even the odds, Liquid Chew said as he opened a dark void under Mario and sucks him in. Whoa! The Bumber shouts as the portal closes. Blake enters and sees Liquid Chew in his magma form. Whoa! My friend has wait. Whoa, Blake says aloud. My friend has arrived. Now the odds are even. Come, Blake, so we can smelt these two together. Blake grunts and sighs. That's actually a good look for you, Brimstone. Blake always came up with a bunch of good nicknames. Crystalina stands posed to defend with Chris as they stand back to back. Okay, now those two are our problem. Oh, wait. I'm sorry, Crystalina said that. Okay, now those two are our problem. Right, Chris responded, just as foreknown to be. The Speed Zone was rendered moot as Brimstone could still enter it in this form. He flung magma balls at Chris and Crystalina that they had to quickly dodge. Blake added difficulty with thunder, thunderbolt, and flamethrower attacks from a separate area of the room. Chris and Crystalina attempted to post-jolt Lance, but the Chaos Crystal Ball shielded Brimstone from that. Brimstone at times would throw cool-down rocks among the magma balls. Chris and Crystalina telekinetically targeted those and flung them back at Brimstone for damaging blows. Blake also dodged Chris and Crystalina's electric, psychic, and elemental and physical attacks with his speed and double team. Brimstone also stomped the ground with a jump, causing an earthquake in the cavern that Chris and Crystalina dodged with levitation. The two of them kept dodging and telekinetically attempting to slow Blake's attacks and chuck rocks back to Brimstone. After a few more hits, Brimstone refreshed his heat with a quick dip into the lava, then started spewing fire blasts that Chris and Crystalina had to dodge. Brimstone then started slamming the floor with his right hand with the Chaos Crystal Ball within the palm. Brimstone slammed hard enough to wedge his fist into the rock. Easy target for a deheating with firebending, then homing attack it. Easy target for a deheating with firebending, then homing attacking it. After a few hits on the hand, Brimstone resorted to a haymaker using Chaos Smash to fell the volcano to bury Chris and Crystalina. Meanwhile, in the Dark Void, Mario was experiencing some seriously odd events. Mario was in a momentary daze when he comes to as Princess Peach approaches him with a firm expression in his mouth. She tells him, Mario, I've come to a very crucial decision. For the good of the kingdoms, I am marrying Bowser. Hang on a second, excuse me. What? Mario cries out. You got to, Peach! Bowser will only turn everything to do into this evilness and hellfire! I've made up my mind, Mario. This princess is moving to another castle. No! What? Mario turns to see Luigi. Luigi tells the princess she's out of her mind with marrying Bowser. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I misread that. Mario turns to see Luigi. Luigi! Tell the princess she's out of her mind with the marrying to Bowser! Luigi responds, Sorry, Butter, but I agree with her. Also, I'm friends with both Luigi and Wario now. Luigi comes around and tells Mario with a cackle, That's right, you left your brother out too much. Now you and I are gonna go play doubles at Wimbledon. Wario enters and sparks. Wow! Yes, Mario, we'll be richer than Donald Trump with my Wario and Luigi games and adventures and treasure selling. Smell ya! They leave. Turning the page. Mario could not believe what he was witnessing in here. Oh, this has got to be a really bad dream. A boo comes along from behind and swipes Mario's hat off his head. Then Mario quickly turns and grabs his hat before the boo could flee. The boo transformed into Giga Bowser and pulled the hat out of Mario's hands and places it on his head. Peach in a wedding dress stands beside Bowser as a clergy toadstool officiates the marriage. Mario, in an angry rage, yanks the book out of the toadstool's hand and starts to read it, only to find that the pages filled with blank spaces, nonsensical words, and upside-down numbers. That wakes Mario, and a Mega Mushroom pops up beside him. He eats it and grows to knock out Giga Bowser in a single blow and get his hat back. Then Mario stomps on Wario and Waluigi, pulling Luigi away from them. A triumphant beam of light shines on Mario. Then Mario wakes up as his body is ensnared with black gooey hands. Then Mario pulls himself out of their grasp while holding onto his iconic hat. Phew! I never want to live a nighttime nightmare again. Now how do I get out of here? A holy light shines in front of Mario, and in my human goddess Booheart form, I personally appear. Super Mario, I am pleased to witness your continued willpower. Who are you? I am Jesus Christ, the Weston Chandler Sonichu Prime. And this, I hold up my hand and present Mario with an invincibility rainbow star. He takes it, then I open a portal out of the Dark Void and right in front of Brimstone as he gets ready to use his... He gets set to use his haymaker. Go now! Go! Now! Brimstone is your target. Knock him out with invincibility and rainbow aura! I tell him. He nods and uses the rainbow star and starts running through the portal. I teleport out of the Dark Void to my next location. In that moment, as Chris and Christina start to use Psychic together to hold Brimstone's fist above the ground, after Brimstone has shouted, I'm bringing this house down now. Chaos smash! A portal opens behind Chris and Kristalina, and a rainbow aura glowing invincible Mario runs out of it at near Mach speed between Chris and Kristalina. Then Mario jumps super high up and smashes right through the center/heart of Brimstone, slugging Liquid Chew out of the massive body and flying towards the opposite wall with a crash. Mario keeps flying and running forward. Would he make it to the ground on the far side of the cavern? Mario is stopped midair, inches above the lava, a few feet from the far side. Kristalina telekinetically holds him in place as Christian holds the crumbling magma fist, focusing the hot rocks back into the lava. Then Chris jumps up and grabs the red chaos crystal ball, then teleports back to the ground. Kristalina, meanwhile, teleports Mario to their side of the cavern. Blake stops his attacks, observing the obvious fact that Woodrock had lost. He runs to Liquid Chew as he digs his way out of the wall. Blake asks Liquid Chew with the hand extended, "Are you all right?" "Not that I care to ask." Liquid Chew smacks Blake's hands away with a burn mark on Blake's glove. "Ow!" Liquid Chew was no longer fire type, but his fur glowed with the lingering lava remnants. "I'm just fine." Gah! A tremor shakes the volcano as a result of Brimstone's earthquake stomps and smashes. "Time to leave," Chris Chan tells Mario and Kristalina. The three of them huddle and Chris teleports them back to the central hall in Peach's castle. Liquid Chew opens a dark void portal. He and Blake enter. They exit near the warp pipe they had exited from earlier. The volcano erupted and lava and ash started flying out and down. The two of them enter the warp pipe and return to the Mushroom Kingdom area, 50 miles west of the Toadstool Village via the warp pipe there. Okay, yeah. Blake groans and stretches as Liquid Chew pushes a fingertip of the bridge of his nose, like as if he was wearing glasses. And he was not. After a deep breath, Liquid Chew speaks. Blake begrudgingly looks to him and asks, "What, Woodrock?" During which Liquid Chew instantly communicates telepathically with an Alakazam back at the space in Virginia. "Rick," also known as Alakazam R289, "would you be a dear collect my and Blake's wallets from our rooms, as well as 2 fresh full restores and teleport them to our present location, please?" And Liquid Chew responds to Blake, "You know me well enough to know that I am a man and a Pokemon who does not give up easily." Blake responds, "So?" An Alakazam appears in front of them with 2 wallets in one hand and 2 full restores in the other. And the Alakazam is wearing an R-shaped badge with the number R-289 etched into it. The Alakazam hands the items to Liquid Chew. He accepts them. "Thank you, Rick." The Alakazam nods and telepathically informs Liquid Chew, "Your actions are reckless, but your intentions meet Team Rocket standards. Be cautious." The Alakazam teleports back to base. Liquid Chew hands Blake a full restore and his wallet. Blake's wallet. Liquid Chew tucks his wallet away into his magic satchel. Breaks the seal of the full restore. Liquid Chew tucks his wallet away into his magic satchel, breaks the seal of the full restore, and drinks it. Blake resumes, "You've just powered up and got your pompous butt handed to you by Chris Chad, Kristalina, and a plumber. How can you be even thinking of continuing to pursue those 2 overpowered demigods?" Liquid Chew finishes drinking his full restores. Then he shakes his head disapprovingly to Blake. Blake, you miss out on the bigger picture of opportunity. Only a psychic able can see and appreciate. I know where those 2 will be heading to next. I saw it in my visions, and the Chaos Crystal Ball showed me. You and I get the remaining crystal balls. We have a massive bargaining chip of power." "Oh, brother," Blake rolls his eyes. "They need them for saving the world and the future date not long from now. If they want to save their precious little world, and we have the crystal balls, a trade can be negotiated." They turn over their city to us, and we supply them with their precious gems of power. After Giovanni uses them for a nefarious scheme of his, and I wish for more against those psychic Sonichus." Blake cringes as he slowly drinks his full restores. He thinks, Woodrock is more demented than Nate Cirque. For now, Blake, you and I locate decent lodging for the night. For in the morning, we run to Montana. Liquid pulls out his phone and looks on Google Maps, on the Google Maps app for closest inexpensive vacant hotels. He finds one about 10 miles south. We head south for now. Let's go, Blake. Liquid starts running south. Blake groans and chucks his empty container into a nearby trash barrel. Boop, 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 into the barrel. Then starts running after Liquid. They find the hotel and check in for a night on Liquid funds. At Peach's castle, she had prepared a couple of rooms for Chris and Kristalina for the night. The two of them transformed into their human forms. That surprised Mario a lot. Chris and Kristalina bathed, then ate. As they rested in their rooms, Chris had the red chaos crystal ball in his hands. Examining it, then places it on a nearby nightstand, turns off the lamp, and falls asleep. The chaos crystal ball glows. Also, just outside Peach's castle, sapbud flowers bloom. And by the way, he went to bed about 9:30 p.m. End of Act 2. Rank S. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Chris has a premonitionary dream that night. He actually sees into the year 2022 on the 1218 half of our Earth. It is late February. Christian is in northeast Ukraine amidst red skies and missiles being fired from Russian soldiers. The local people vacate the war-torn tall buildings. Chris sees me in my God's Buhar form as I sabotage the Russian weaponry with immense physical strength, slices from my overpowered metal-cutting katana blades on the tank's shafts. Electric, psychic, and elemental attacks. Chris starts to call out to me, Grace-chan! When my younger self from September 14th, 1990 appears. I avert a missile from striking near the child as Magic-chan Sonichu Prime rushes to the young me and protects Chris with his body as a shield, with a barrier set up around them in an instant. The Magic-chan teleports the child to safety. Chris transforms into his Sonichu form and is relocated to one of the January 6, 2021 hearings from later in that year. A nearby newspaper reads, COVID rates dropping, and on the monitor, the attacks on the Capitol by the citizens. Chris is now standing between both POTUS inductees Lisa Simpson and Joe Biden. Chris sets a barrier around the two POTUS as the mob gets worse. Chris looks up into the sky and sees the red chaos crystal ball in place of the moon on a sunny day. Then Chris is running through the Green Hill Zone, runs up into a haystack in a Montana barn, then wakes up from the dream. End of Chaos Crystal Control Act 1, Rank S. Savior. That's Act 1. Next time we will read Act 2. And there's a lot more to come. We got like more than 8 acts in this entire story, so you got a lot to listen to. Look forward to that. Also, I will be re-recording my reading of Act 4, even though I had live streamed earlier the recording of me reading that. But I feel like I want to do that because I don't want to be distracted by live streamers again. It's just to kind of like clear up so we don't have that interrupting this flow. Even though that old live stream is in the playlist of this video, which link in the description down below. And also links to my socials and my shops and everything. So anyway, yep. All y'all have a safe, good weekend. And take care and be safe. For it is right and good. Continue well on that which is good and light-powered. Thank you. Go, Transformers! Transformers, go! Transformers, more than meets the eye. Go, Transformers!